So knowing how busy the average contractor is, what's a reasonable interval for looking at this information? I mean, daily would be great, but realistically, not everybody can do that. Is it some things we need to look at weekly, some things we need to look at monthly, some only quarterly? How does that work?
Well, there's a couple of things to consider. First of all, who is looking at the information and for what purpose? For management decisions, the instant to instant is not necessarily particularly useful. If our profit margin on Tuesday looks pretty good and on Wednesday somehow or other, we just got a catastrophic bill in and it's not looking so good, then should I go into panic mode? No, we want to be looking at longer intervals. And many of the financial dashboards are, a month, every month would be good. On the other hand, if you're a production manager and you've got a project manager or a production manager, and you are looking at specific jobs, then you don't want a month to go by before you know that you're over budget on X, Y, or Z. So then your frequency gets tied to what is the purpose? Is it to look at trends and manage the overview of the company from a strategic level, or is your objective to check on how a particular job is going so that you can jump in and provide management assistance if necessary?
So how do you get your clients to schedule that time? I mean, I know for me, if it's not on my digital calendar, it doesn't happen
because it doesn't exist.
So do you encourage them to make an appointment with themselves, whatever interval, so that they're going to sit down?
So I will from today on. That's actually a great thing. Well, and going back to this, we're also talking about what size company. That's a great idea. What size company are we talking about? Is this a sole proprietor who's got maybe one field worker, and he is doing all the bookkeeping? He has to duck when he goes through doorways because he's got so many hats on.
Sure.
And he's doing sales, he's doing production, he's doing management, he's doing bookkeeping, he's doing everything. So if you've got somebody who is totally overwhelmed with all of that stuff, the good news is he's already got a handle on what's going on, even though he may not be able to distance himself enough to put it together as a package. So a dashboard could be helpful for one of those. But as your company grows, then the typical owner is going to start losing track. He's going to stop being the data entry person. So he'll stop picking up on the nuances of what's going on a day-to-day basis. So he needs to start delegating that things happen. Now, you suggested putting it in his planner and make a date with himself. The other thing that can happen is the job description for the bookkeeper or the office manager or whoever it is. Maybe it's not the bookkeeper, maybe it's the office manager. And part of that individual's job description is to prepare this every Friday morning or every Friday afternoon by 3 o'clock. Or that it's got to be done for the end of the prior month by the 5th of the following month. First Friday in the month, whatever it is. But then it becomes a delegated task. So then you're not chasing, it's already there. Now you can then choose to not look at it or look at it, but at least it is there. So there's no excuse for it, and you don't have to chase. It's one thing to find 10 minutes to look at the dashboard. It's another to go chase down the bookkeeper to see if the data has been entered, and then the office manager to see whether the data that has been entered has been used to update the